Boom, what's going on? We're back for another week. It's your brother Mizo, Sky.
Hello, everybody.
I always like prompt you to say your name, and I
I
make
know.
it weird, awkward. But
It's awkward saying my name anyway.
yeah, I never call you by your
It's
name.
like,
But yo, we are Color the Blockchain. We represent Core, the co-founders of Color the Blockchain, and what we do is we provide equal access into Web3 and general technology by sharing resources and basic education delivered in the cadence of pop culture. Why in the cadence of pop culture? Because language barrier is one of the greatest barriers that we always also face on top of the financial barriers. And a lot of the demographic that we are onboarding, um, a lot of us, actually even beyond the demographic, right? The people in general, the people in the world, when you hear the word currency, you think of banks, and that brings some type of trauma to your mind. It brings you some type of like, you know what I mean? And that's why when we talk about crypto or anything in Web3, even just NFTs, people are worried, especially if they don't understand the language. And I think that's why it's very important for us to celebrate the space by onboarding more people and making sure it's more equal. You want to add anything to that? Since I
I love your intros. You're perfect. Yeah, and exactly that, like language barrier and like the lingo. Like there's a lot of words that people don't understand, and it's hard to know what people are talking about when it seems like it's like this little private group that all has the same terms for things and stuff like that. So to bring people in, we want to make it feel more inclusive instead of like it's some like secret club that you're trying to get into. And
Yeah,
that's why we
exactly.
use yeah, and that's why we use more general terms instead of or try to explain the terms that people use in the crypto space so you can understand and get in there, and then you can talk about hodling too.
Yeah, you're old.
You can do your
But
own.
but that's the truth. Though. It's like and while we have this approach, we also understand the importance of still learning and understanding what these
Mhm.
words mean and what the terms mean.
Yeah, we
So
just make
step
it
by
more
step,
approachable.
yeah, make it
Mhm.
approachable, and then you get a full grasp of it. But I'll play a quick 1 minute clip to explain what Color the Blockchain is again. What is Color the Blockchain? Color the Blockchain was a response based solution, providing equal access into Web3 and basic technology focused on people of color and women. We provide resources such as computers, internet cards, and basic Web3 and tech education delivered in the cadence of pop culture. Cardano's social impact focus resonates with the cause of Color the Blockchain. Therefore, we decided to mobilize with the Cardano community and utilize blockchain technology powered by Cardano. Our goal is to onboard people that are being left behind. Web3 is a new dimension connected to IRL. What happens here affects us in real life, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. As we build a new dimension, we want to focus on creating a better world. That's why we're here to color the blockchain. Equal access, equal power. Get connected. And before we move forward, I also want to share. We didn't do this last episode, but every few episodes, I want to make sure we show people some of our proof of work from the past.
Mhm.
Um, Currently, we're working on a new initiative. We're bringing 5 computers. We're starting with a small number, so it's measurable.
Mhm.
We can use it as new proof of work since this is our first initiative on the Cardano blockchain. This is our first time utilizing Web3 technology, and we chose Cardano because it resonates with us. The ethos in
Mhm.
Cardano resonates with us. The social impact aspect of Cardano resonates with us. And to be honest, a lot of the people we've just been connecting with naturally, it just seems like I belong here. And so does this movement. So we have 2 people that we did that were recipients of Color the Blockchain funding, and I'll play one of them for now. Should we
Yeah.
play B-Boy Lyrics from Ghana or Odinson from India?
Let's play the B-Boy lyrics one. I feel like we've seen Odinson.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
go. All right, so this is B-Boy Lyrics. He's a co-founder. He's the founder of Afro Break Style of Dance, founded in Accra, Ghana, and we funded his 7 country tour across like 7 countries in Africa
Mhm.
last year, I believe. And
Mhm.
while he was facilitating this tour, teaching young kids how to dance in the style of Afro break, he was also playing a video, just a basic intro of why NFTs can be used to help your community, help your art, or help your business, just so they have a basic understanding of it. All right, let's go.
Hello, so my name is Lyrics. I'm from Ghana, West Africa, the founder of Afrobrick, and I'm a b-boy, I'm a dancer. Yeah, with my experience with blockchain color, which is NFT, uh, NFT was able through NFT I was able to raise like 1,200 Canadian dollars last year, which I will use it to fund my project, my tour across Africa. So I believe NFT is a good thing, and NFT have come to help we creatives, be a dancer, being a musician, being a creative. Once you're in the art space, it's a platform for us to create revenue. It's a platform to create wealth. It's a platform to monetize what we do and monetize our creativity.
So yeah, there we go. That's B-Boy Lyrics.
It's such a cool
And
video.
yo, good news too. I didn't even tell you. I spoke to him, and he's gonna be a guest soon on one of
Oh,
our.
cool.
Yeah, so I can't wait to have him on here.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Want to do it? Intro. Let's get
Let's do it.
Isabel
Bring
from
everybody
Green
back in.
Research up here.
Hmm.
All right. So next up, we have Isabel from Green Crypto Research, and I'm really excited to have her here as a guest and learn more of what she does. And for everyone viewing and everyone who will see this even now or later, this is what we want to do. We want to bring different community members to you so we can fill in the gaps.
Hmm.
Because social impact is a puzzle, and there's different pieces to this puzzle. And like we always say, we can bring people technology, but it's hard to learn on an empty stomach. And it's hard to learn when you're dealing with domestic violence. It's hard to learn when, there's so many different angles to it. And it's hard to learn when you're in an environment that is not giving you clean running water.
Hmm.
It's so there are a lot of different things, and this is why we gotta complete this puzzle. And here's a big piece of the puzzle, Isabel from Green Crypto Research.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you for
worries.
being here.
Yeah, I really like what you do. I in my real life, I'm a head of marketing, and it really resonates with me when you say language is so important. Because in my day-to-day life, this is what I see constantly. The more complex it gets, the easier we must communicate. The whole crypto and blockchain space, it gets complex really, really quickly.
Hmm. And if you don't have a background in it, like that's what we found too when we first came into it. We're like, I don't know what these people are talking about, but it's interesting. It takes a lot of research.
Absolutely, like same for me. It's still, sometimes my research team, sometimes they are really, really deep down in the nitty-gritty of all the blockchain technology. And for me, sometimes it's really important to have somebody to say, stop, 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 stop. What are you talking about? I don't understand. Explain it to me like you would explain it to a 5-year-old.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, it's helpful. It's helpful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Explaining to me like he'd explain it to a 5-year-old. Like that's true. And
Mhm.
yeah, and that's the base learning though, right? That's
Mhm.
base learning. We need
Correct.
to have the base, the foundation before we do anything. So um
Right. It said if you can explain it like you would explain it to a 5-year-old, then it means you really understood the topic.
Hmm.
So
right.
Yeah.
See? Yeah.
let's try to do that today.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So please let the people know about Green Crypto Research, just
Mhm.
in general, if you can. I'm going to share your website while that happens.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you. Happy to. So, hi everyone. My name is Isabel. I'm the president of Green Crypto Research. Green Crypto Research, or GCR, how we call it, is a nonprofit association based in Zug, Switzerland. Maybe you have heard of Crypto
Mm.
Valley. That's where we're at. And we specialize in evaluating the sustainability of cryptocurrencies. Um, and our mission is to empower people to make crypto investments with sustainability in mind, right? This also plays into our general goal, to create more transparency and to make more awareness of ESG in the crypto scene, because we feel like at the moment, it's still a very one-sided perspective on cryptos and blockchains in general, usually just the environmental component is getting talked about. We feel like it's important to look at sustainability in a kind of a trisecta, but we'll get into this, I feel. And yeah, to that end, we provide the ratings for over 70 blockchains and tokens on our website, where you can look up whatever, you know, how we rated them, sustainable, with potential, with sustainability issues, or not sustainable at all. So you can make informed decisions.
Yeah,
Amazing.
amazing. And when you talk about the ESG, if you
Right.
break that down, it's the environmental, social
Governance.
governance.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really the belief system behind the entire rating. So it's the first rating of its kind for the cryptosphere, but ESG exists in the traditional financial sector for quite a long time. And it looks at
Mm.
sustainability as not just an environmental topic, but it says you need to weigh different factors against one another in order to be truly sustainable. So you have environmental part, you have a social part, and you have a governance part where it really is about the idea behind your project, how well it is maintained, um, who stands behind the project, what is the intention of it. And we look at all three of those aspects, all of those three dimensions. I'm sorry, and we look at 90 to 110 data points in order to get the rating. And what we do is we have a score per dimension. So we have an environmental score, we have a social score, and we have a governance score per blockchain or per token. And all of those
Oh,
up together, we get the rating.
Okay.
And
oh, amazing. Okay.
yeah, it's a
And
lot of work.
Yeah, it
it
seems like
seems
a lot
like
of
it.
work.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So are those ratings? Can anybody look those up and see those online?
Of
Like if you're
course, yes.
interested? Oh yeah.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Cool. That's
You can
really
go
cool.
at our website, greencryptoresearch.com, and then you can either look at blockchains, what we say is so-called native coins,
Hmm.
meaning this is like Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that type of stuff, where the
Oh,
cryptocurrency
cool.
has its own blockchain. But then we also
Hmm.
look at tokens, right? And tokens are cryptocurrencies or crypto assets that don't have their own blockchain, but they run on Ethereum, for instance.
Hmm.
Mm.
Right. Exactly. There you go. You have those two, and we differ between blockchain and tokens in our rating
Hmm.
system.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh,
And
that's so cool.
what are some of your thoughts on, or even okay, actually, two questions.
Hmm.
Does this is just like a straight novice question. Like, can a project have an ESG rating that
Well,
doesn't have a token?
sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. Yes. In a way that, like, when we say we look at native crypto, like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Cardano, we look at the technology. But if we look at a token, it is more of a project that we look at. So those are
Mm.
the two differences, simply because you build on an existing blockchain. So to put it very simply, yeah. And what we do is, this is also really important to know, is the rating is a relative ranking. So we benchmark cryptocurrencies against one another.
Mm.
Basically, you put them in a linear order and going from the most sustainable to the least sustainable overall. So
Wow.
we don't compare them to, the traditional financial system in any kind of way. It's
Hmm.
strictly within the same universe.
Oh, very
Wow.
cool.
Mhm.
And so what are your thoughts on Cardano, for example? So
Oh
Cardano,
yeah.
like, is there a way to measure the ESG of fiat of a bank?
Of fiat, actually, I wouldn't know how to do it. It's quite
Mm.
complicated, I think, for fiat. But for ADA, for Cardano, of course, yes, we have a rating, and it's one of the very few blockchains that actually has an A rating. So
Mm.
they're super sustainable because they have a very low environmental impact. When you compare it to other blockchains and other tokens, just cryptocurrencies in general, they score really well in the social category and also in governance perspective. So if you like to, we can go into the different points that we analyze a little bit. I think that might be helpful to get a better grasp of the rating in general.
Hmm.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So what we do is, like I said, there are like those three dimensions. So 110 data points is a lot, so we group them into three main clusters per dimension. When we look at the environmental sector, we look at energy consumption, we look at energy consumption of the whole network, CO2 emissions, but we also look at power consumption per transaction. So really, really down to the detail. We look at pollution and waste. This is mainly e-waste, electronic waste, based on the hardware that you need in order to mine or to validate. And then also, which is not a quantitative measure, but still very important in our rating, is the aspiration to achieve net zero in an environmental, like reduce your environmental footprint. Because we feel like it should be awarded for a blockchain like, for instance, Ethereum, that before the merge, it was highly, highly, highly pollutionist, if that's a word. And it has really drastically reduced its power consumption with changing its consent algorithm. So that's what we look at in the environmental sector. If we look at the social dimension, we look at the social impact, meaning does it empower people economically, which most blockchains do, but then we need to go down, we need to dive in because it's really not enough because most of them do that. But it's about asset distribution. Is it fairly distributed, or does anyone hold the entire power, or the like half of the coins or tokens belong to one single address? And then we also look at entry and usage barriers. So do you need, for instance, is it enough if you just need a mobile phone in order to get connected, or how much does a transaction cost? Because while for certain countries and certain nations, $10 per transaction might be okay. It has been higher on Ethereum, a lot higher for a while. It might be okay for some of us, but for some of us, it might not. It might be extremely a lot of money. So those kind of things, it's in the social dimension. And then governance is one of my favorites, actually, because this is really how you look at the vision behind it. When you look at the patterns, it's we look at network diversification. We look at security, we look at incidents, and we look at potential governance issues. Like, for instance, do we know the people on the board? Are they openly communicated? Is there any entity? Is there a foundation that takes care of things? Where's it domiciled? Those kind of questions.
Wow, that's a lot to look into.
Yeah, it's a lot to look into, and it's not so easy because it's not standardized. So it's a lot of manual labor, and it's a very complex type of framework, where we fill in the data at the right spot, and then we have all the calculations on what data needs to be counted to what part and stuff to get the end rating. It's been a long development, but Green Crypto Research has been founded in May 2021, so we have quite a bit of data that we aggregated so far, and I would say also a lot of expertise in just creating this ourselves.
Right. And even standardizing it is, that's the thing. It seems like for something to become standardized, someone has to start it. Someone has to put in the work. Like kind of what we're doing. We're showing the proof of impact. You're showing the proof of your work since May of what year did you say?
2021.
2021, May of 2021.
Yep.
And that's the thing. I think we're all looking for different things that will be standardized to really make us be able to work fluidly, across these blockchains and use the blockchain technology to our advantage to make a better world, because I think a lot of people come here to make money. That's great. Make your money. And a lot of you are coming for both. Why can't you do both? But I know there's like such a brand new opportunity to give people a fair chance finally. And this is still somewhat the beginning. So standardizing what you're doing, the ESGs and this type of measurement, standardizing, looking at social impact first, almost. These are the things that I think can really help us use this technology for a better tomorrow, And because when you were talking about like the $10 gas fee, the transaction fee, we speak about this often. It's like, okay, there could be a project that's really cool. Like we had a project, we had to think about the pricing because it's like, yeah, it makes sense. It's only $30, but $30 in Haiti is a month
Yeah,
worth
right.
of salary for a
Mhm.
house of four, you
Correct.
know. And
Mhm.
Correct.
these are the things that we have to look at since we are, see, in the crypto space, we look at UTC because we're universal, you know, but it's time that we look at measure finances in a universal way too. I just wanted to like add on. It wasn't really a question. I just wanted to add on to that because
Yeah, and
I
please do. Yes, of course.
yeah.
It's absolutely true. This is something I really like about this space. I feel like there's a lot of ambition going on to rethink the current economic model we're in. You know,
Mhm.
you I think the crypto space also gets a bad rap because it's a speculative asset where a lot of people try to get rich really fast.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But this is only a part of the game. The other part is like building on it to include people, the so-called unbanked people who have not yet profited from
Mhm.
a structured financial system. So
Mhm.
I think there's always those two sides. And unfortunately, I think in today's time or with today's media, the part where we talk about getting rich really fast with it is louder.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
But
it's true. And winners. Sorry. Go
no, go ahead. I always talk so much. Please go ahead.
ahead. I noticed too when we bring people on and we say, "Oh, we can make an NFT for you," and if it doesn't sell right away, it's kind of like, "Well, why didn't it sell?" Because it seems like in the news, you just make an NFT and it sells, and you're going to be a millionaire, and it's like, it just seems
Yeah.
so easy, but it's actually so saturated. It's not that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, and it's also it's actually how I came to this. You know, it's we are a neutral rating agency, if you will. But Cardano has reached out to us. Sustainable ADA, actually, not Cardano itself, but Sustainable ADA has reached out to us, and we talked a little bit about what they do, what we do. We really liked also their ethos, their principles.
Mm-hmm.
And apart from that, we have already rated Cardano in October 2021. So they have a sustainable rating A, the highest rating you can get already. So it was super interesting for us to partake in their endeavors. And
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know if you've heard about the Cardano Impact Report that's going to
Yes.
feature also on the ESG rating. So that's super exciting. But I
Mm-hmm.
really like, this focus on community that's going on in the Web3 world in general, and this idea that it's not just a specific type of group of people who should be able to profit from it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. And
Yeah.
community currency. It's like a
Hmm.
lot of this is we're like looking at currency differently, I feel. And meeting people online from different parts of the world that you never met physically. And I'm building more with people that I've just met online. And it's like
Hmm.
we're meeting people's hearts. Every time
Mm-hmm.
we're on these spaces, we're meeting other people's hearts. And we end up working together because the heart is beating the same way. We're looking for the same thing for the people. And it's like, yeah, currency is the community. And often when we need funding, it's to pay for resources,
Hmm.
it's to pay for items, whatever, services. But if we have a strong community, that sometimes will bypass the need of any fiat or crypto because we can just help each other almost. So I think sustainable communities is another thing that is great. So your sustainable rating was A for Cardano. Was
Yeah.
that the top of them all or no?
Um, I it is in the top. I'm not 100% sure because we have just reviewed, or we are in the midst of reviewing all the data. We do this every 6 months. This is important because it's still a very young space, so we go
Mhm.
through every single data point, and that's why I'm currently not 100% certain which one, is on top. But yeah, Cardano is definitely up there.
That's
There are
amazing.
not that many. If you have 70, I think it's like at the moment it's 5 or 6
Mhm.
have an A rating. We have with the change of Ethereum of the consensus algorithm. So basically, the way the network agrees on its state. Um, when Ethereum switched from proof of work to proof of stake in
Mhm.
September, I think, of last year, a lot of the tokens uh, improved their rating because they're being transacted on Ethereum.
Mhm.
So that counts. We look at
Mhm.
where the transactions are being held.
Mhm.
But maybe I think we should probably also discuss when we say, language is important, we should discuss proof of work and proof of stake, because those
Mhm.
are really two super important um, aspects of blockchain technology that really determine where your rating is going to fall. If you have probably a or a B rating, or a C or a D, is depending greatly on your consensus algorithm. And that's why proof of work is if we put it really if you simplify it a little bit, is kind of like you asking all the miners in your network to participate in a mathematical puzzle, and whoever has the highest computational power will win the race, right? And so your participation currency, or your currency in order to win, to succeed, is computational power. So there's a lot of energy consumption happening. But
Mhm.
proof of stake is a different idea behind it. It's all the validators in the network, in order to create the next block, in order to validate transaction, they need a certain stake in the cryptocurrency. And so it's basically not the entire network that gets to participate, but the network kind of chooses and you can participate in order to solve this mathematical puzzle. So that's
Okay.
why it's very limited in a way that the power consumption is happening. So
Mhm.
that's why we say usually POS, proof of stake systems and algorithms, just fare better when it comes to the environmental perspective. So their score usually is much better.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's a good way to explain it
Yeah.
Mhm.
because I understood it more. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also
Um,
struggled with this greatly in the beginning.
but yeah, Sustainable Aiders, shout out shout out to them for sure. And I can't wait till you learn more. Like, what's cool about it is, you could do your like skimming research. I skim over something. I skimmed over the page and the site, but just hearing you explain it, it's really nice to see that like you're filling in a gap before we recognize there's a gap there, and that's important because there's always going to be gaps, and it's going to take each of us individually using our experience, our life experience, our business experience, our personal and business professional understanding to notice certain gaps. I may not notice the one that you noticed, but I would have fallen over it and stumbled.
Mhm.
So again, the puzzle, and you're a great piece of the puzzle. So
Thank you. They say your best products or services are the ones that provide a solution to a problem.
Mm.
And we had the problem. It was three of us, my brother, his best man, and myself. We wanted to invest in green cryptos and sustainable cryptos, but we couldn't find any information on it.
Mm.
And we were like, let's put our brains together and figure something out. And when we do it, why we do it for us? Why not share it with the world? And that's how
Mhm.
really the idea came about.
wow.
Yeah.
If I may just bring it back and relate to it, that's the same as Color the Blockchain. We
Mhm.
were a solution-based response to blatant racism and sexism that we seen in the space early 2020. Dealt with it head on. Was emotional about it. And then we're like, we need a solution, and the solution
Mhm.
was to Color the Blockchain. And often solution-based responses, often those are the ones that last a long time because the foundation is connected to the being, you know, and that's what's really cool about it. So it's nice.
Mhm.
You said your brother, and
His best
uh,
man.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but we're now a team of seven. So, and
nice,
we
nice.
all we know each other. It's really nobody is complete from the outside. We have ties to, but one of our guys, we just met him in the train. One of
Oh,
us met him on a train ride, and they started talking. And now he participates. He helps us building this and
Amazing.
that's
making
cool.
this. Yeah, making this a bigger thing than it is today. It's really
That's
cool.
why we always say it's so important to tell everybody what you do because you never know. Somebody just sitting next to you is like, "Oh, I do that too," and then there you go. Now you have a
Hmm.
team. It's a
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, met him
That's
on a
amazing.
train. I love it. And we're gonna
Yeah.
be a sidebar is we're gonna be in Switzerland in May.
Oh,
So we might reach out if you're there
Mhm.
at the
please.
same time. We'll reach out. and
Please do.
build further. Yeah.
Mhm.
But I appreciate it. Is there anything else you wanted to add for the people to understand?
Usually, what we get a lot of questions about is where we do get data from. And I think this is always important to address because, like when we say we're objective, when we are neutral, that's what we really, really strive for. So we are not getting paid to do any ratings. We don't accept it.
Mm,
How we get financed, or we finance this project. It's a side project, but the traditional financial industry has reached out to us because they're interested in these ESG ratings because
Mhm.
they understand it's a need for their clients, you know. So we
Yeah.
help them build sustainable crypto solutions. But it's important to us to always provide the ratings for free for everybody who cares.
Mhm.
Everybody who's on the website will see them forever.
Yeah.
nice. Yep.
Yeah.
You
So
can't
the
buy your
source,
way in. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's really good to have that information out there because that's one thing that we've come up with too. People just assume that NFTs are harmful for the environment.
Mhm.
And then, it's like they don't want to get involved or they don't really understand. So it's nice to be able to send them somewhere and just say, well, go check this out. There's actually information out there. You can see, if we're minting these on a platform that actually has a good. Then it's not that harmful.
Yeah.
So it's great to have that information out there.
Yeah. And also the data that we get is we look at, the white paper, we look at
Mhm.
reports from the native cryptocurrency, we look at the original website, FAQs, Discord, social media, everything. But we also look at academic journals, we look at news media, Crypto Explorer, and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And then most importantly, because we have aggregated so much data, we plausibilize everything with our own calculation frameworks.
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
is really important because, Dior, do your own research. It's really, really true. It has never been truer for any space than for cryptocurrencies, I feel like, or blockchain in general. It's
Yeah.
because there's the variety of information out there, and then like the wording gets complex really fast. So you need to
Mhm.
understand what you're looking at.
Mhm.
100%. I
Yeah.
was going to even say that what's cool about there's many aspects to green crypto research. As a co-founder and someone who's building or looking at other people who are building even their own blockchains, and for the people, okay, let me put it this way. It's like working really hard at a
Hmm.
job. You have a boss and you're working,
Hmm.
and you can never tell if what you're doing is good enough, right? Sometimes you can tell if what you're doing is not good enough because they'll tell you usually. But that's the thing. If I'm not told that I'm not doing good enough, then it'll be hard for me to recognize that and improve that part.
Hmm.
So having this research done for your blockchain, for your project, for your token, I feel is important because then you can use it as a measurable, and you can say, okay, I want to improve this, and this,
Yeah.
and this, and this are great. Let's keep it up,
Mhm.
and
It holds people accountable too.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. This is a
Mhm.
super important point because, cryptocurrencies and blockchains have gotten a really bad rap because of
Mhm.
Bitcoin. I'm sure you
Mhm.
and I and everyone listening in, we've all seen and heard countless articles about, when they mention the CO2 emissions of Bitcoin, the, the Bitcoin produces every year is similar
Mhm.
to than that country. Um, but the thing is, if we look at Bitcoin within the crypto system, yes, Bitcoin is a D rating. It's the lowest possible rating, simply because their environmental footprint is just in comparison to the other blockchains huge. But
Mm,
if we look at Bitcoin in comparison to the financial system, I don't know because I don't know the footprint, the environmental footprint of the traditional finance system. But I'm sure it's pretty heavy. It's a
Mhm.
pretty
right.
big footprint.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin makes things measurable. So it helps us to improve anything. It helps us to
Mhm.
optimize. So I
Mhm.
feel like it's often a very unjustified or an unfair statement to say, cryptocurrencies are bad and Bitcoin is terrible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Often it might be just the banks. I'm just putting this is me saying it. I see banks playing around. No, but the thing is, like, yeah, and that's been my conversation with many people too. It's like I don't know the numbers. I can't give you the numbers, but I can look and see most of our money, our fiat is digital. Most of our fiat, people don't even touch their fiat. It's
Mhm.
digital. Transactions are digital. It's constantly online. Constantly. It has to be online. And so there is definitely a footprint there. Then you have, don't forget the big mints that are printing out all this money,
Yeah.
and what comes from that as well. So
Yeah, like honestly, I don't know. I really don't
yeah.
know what the footprint could be. I would also, I
Mhm.
don't even know how you could measure it because it's different intermediaries, right?
Mm.
Mhm.
It's different banks, they have their own footprint, it's different systems, it's different nations, it's different
Mhm.
power suppliers, you know, who knows?
Yeah, where do you start with that one?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So while your team is helping to fill the gap and helping the Web3 community thrive,
Mhm.
move forward, grow. Um, how are some ways the listeners can support green crypto research?
Well, thank you for that question. That's really, really cool for us, to share our ideas here, and in other types of podcasts or events or whatever. But it's mainly we provide this for people to to learn more about it and be able to invest if they want to in sustainable cryptocurrencies.
Mm.
So it's most helpful to us if you spread the word, if you follow us on all social channels, if you are really, really interested in what we do, and if you are interested in the news that we provide frequently, and in the sort of the community we're trying to build, you can sign in or log in into our website, so you always get the newest updates via email. And don't be scared, you don't get an email every other day. Just when
Mhm.
we publish something new, which is about once a month, you'll be the first one to know. So this is, at the moment, this is a really big help. And yeah, just talk to your friends about sustainable cryptocurrencies or
Mhm.
blockchain and tokens.
No doubt. And the
Yeah.
link is right down, right
Mhm.
below. It's scrolling past us, greencryptoresearch.com. So yeah, do check them out, and we'll put your links on our site sometime this weekend. I
Cool.
won't
Yeah.
do it
Great.
today.
Yeah. I follow you on Instagram, and then I was happy to see, you guys are also out there and trying to, or aspiring to do similar thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. Let's build bridges. Let's
Mhm.
stay connected. Let's keep going, and let's
Mhm.
help each other grow, help the people in the same process. And
Mhm.
I love it. But thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you
Happy
for
to.
having
Thank you
us.
so much.
All right, cool. All right, one love. Thank you. We'll
Thank you.
be in touch. All right.
Great. Yeah. Please let me know when you're in Switzerland in May.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
I love Switzerland. I performed at, the Kupol.
Hmm.
Yeah, I performed there, I don't know, over a dozen times. I make music too. I performed at the Kupol every time I'm in Switzerland, I perform there at hip hop shows.
At Kugel or what? What?
Oh, the
Kugel.
Kupol. It's in I'm gonna find out while you're on here.
Sorry. I understood Google.
Oh, it is. It's a venue
Hmm.
that used to be I believe army, they have all those like
Hmm.
event spaces that are basically like old army
Yeah, like the bunkers and
leftovers.
stuff.
Yeah,
Uh
it's a
huh.
bunker. I'm thinking of
Yeah.
the name, and it's called the Kupol, and I believe it's in BLBN.
Ah, Biel. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Biel is cool.
yeah, and it's like a really cool dome, and yeah, but we're gonna be there, so I'll message you.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, great. Let me know.
All right,
Nice.
cool. One love. Thank you.
One
Talk
love.
to you soon.
Thank you. Bye bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, that was beautiful. Got good
Mhm.
info. And we'll create some clips from there. I know Demo he helps us with all of our clips. He's in a snowstorm. He lives on the top of a mountain, and
It's like
he's
California
there doing his
snowstorm.
thing. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so I'll try to get some clips done at least soon. And that was great. If anyone has any info,
Mhm.
please reach out to greencryptoresearch.com. The link's right there, scrolling to the bottom. And before we leave, though, I would like to share what our new initiative's about. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out to Sustainable Ada for recently making us their official partners. And I'm so excited about that, just to have people that believe in the vision.
Mhm.
And I love the fact that, we wouldn't partner with anyone, even if they gave us a lot of clout or
Mhm.
visibility, but their ethos didn't match ours, we just wouldn't do it. And it's not to be on a high horse, it's to stay focused on our
Mhm.
mission and on our frequency.
Yeah.
And that's the reason.
We have to
So I want
complement
to
each other,
say,
right?
pardon me?
Said you have to complement each other, what your vision is and what your goals are and stuff.
Yeah, 100%, And I
Mhm.
feel like me and you have done well with that. Like, we've tried to mobilize with people that where it makes sense, where the
Mhm.
vibes match, it makes sense, and we could put the children first.
Yeah,
That's the
absolutely.
main part. We got to put the children first.
Mhm.
Um, so our next initiative right now, since we gave computers to people, we gave Odinson a computer before. I'll play his testimony later. But our current initiative is we're bringing 5 computers to an indigenous community in British Columbia. Um, the whole thing's going to be documented. We're going to give them some basic entry level workshops on it, and we're going to use this also as our proof of impact on
Mhm.
the Cardano blockchain. Since this is our first Web3 initiative, even though we've been trying to onboard people, that's what Color the Blockchain is. We
Mhm.
haven't used NFTs yet to do this. And
Mhm.
we're on Cardano, like we said, because the ethos matches us, our vision. And right now we're bringing 5 computers to one community, and we wanted something measurable. We wanted something that we could accomplish, and so we can show them, look, this is how we start. This is step 1. We got 5 computers. I would
Mhm.
love to be like, yo, we're bringing 100, but we're going to go baby steps, and we're going to bring 5. We've already got 4 out of the
Mhm.
5. So let's hear about our initiative and an update from our initiative, and then we'll probably wrap up.
Yeah,
That's good with you.
sounds good. Yeah.
Let's go. Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing. Let's go. Our current initiative to bring 5 computers to an indigenous community is to show people proof of work while we start right at home, here in Canada, stolen native land, the same place where Color the Blockchain was founded. Here are some ways you could help us color the blockchain. We're always accepting refurbished or old computers that are just sitting inside your home or your office space, collecting dust. Send it to us, and we'll put it to good use. We're also using Web3 technology to fund this project. You could donate through fiat, you could donate through cryptocurrency, and you can also donate by purchasing one of our collector's NFTs. Purchase the Color the Blockchain collector's card and support us as we get resources for youth and communities in need while making sure we could keep the lights on. Remember, there are several other ways to support Color the Blockchain. Simply email us and let us know. Do you want to volunteer? Do you want to help us spread the word? Do you want to write a story about us? Or do you just want to give us words of encouragement? Color the Blockchain. Equal power. Get connected. So, you like that, right?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said exactly.
And what I'm really excited about is we're on a call with Cardano for Climate, and that community is just amazing. Miguel introduced us to Cardano for Climate. We're there. They have great building exercises. I'm learning a lot. Like whenever I usually work during that hour, so I can't get there, got to pay bills.
Mhm.
But whenever I can get there, they have great activities, great group building activities, and I'm already learning a lot from C4C, to be honest. And a brother named Nori from C4C from that call helped us, and we're going to pick up some computers next Saturday. Here's our update. Our first goal is to bring 5 computers to an indigenous community. We have currently raised 4 out of the 5 computers, and we are really excited and grateful. We want to give a special thanks to the Cardano for Climate community for helping make this possible. Remember, our goal is ongoing, so we are still accepting more computers, and we are always accepting more donations in the form of fiat, crypto, or NFT purchases. Color the Blockchain. Equal power. Get connected. Color the Blockchain. Equal power. Get connected.
Get connected.
So yo, we're good? I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good. It was a
Everyone
very good
should go
interview.
enjoy their Saturday. Have a beautiful Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Smile today. Whatever doesn't make you smile, think about why, and do your best to smile. Sometimes it's hard to smile. Sometimes it's hard to have a good day. But what we can always do is strive. Is
Mm-hmm.
strive to push past that. Strive to understand yourself. Strive to understand others. And strive to understand that most things in this world aren't personal. We're all just doing our best. So keep doing your best. Give this Saturday your best. Give this whole week your best, and we'll see you next week.
Next weekend, guys.